Good evening, good evening, good evening to all you wisdom walkers out there. Hi, this is Jojo Maria and Saroma coming to you with Astrology for Self-Mastery for the first half of August. Wow, this one took a lot of work. It took a lot of work, y'all. I have, okay, the ones that are specifically the astrology. I have about 55, maybe 56 slides to get through for you. So lay back, get yourself some refreshment, maybe a little popcorn, a little guava juice, because I'm going to take my time to clearly interpret and break down this information for you. Yeah. We're in a very, very powerful time. You know it, I know it, we all know it. Let me start with the quotes for this month. First one is from Ms. Lena Stevens from the Power Path, and she says the theme for August is time for a new story. The new story needs to come from the heart, not the head. And it needs to begin to manifest from the present, not the past, and not the future. August brings two eclipses that will support this process in unexpected ways. You may find yourself with some doors closing, urging you to take notice and to be proactive on where to go next. When one door closes, another one will surely open, but it requires trust to step through that door into a new landscape that could become the foundation for your new story. Yeah, very powerful. And then from my moon omens, August 2026 is one of the most pivotal months of the entire year. It will be colored by the energy of two powerful eclipses and the activation of the Lion's Gate portal, bringing significant initiations and unexpected turning points in our lives. We will be reminded that our lives can shift in the blink of an eye, and the course of events may redirect us toward a path we could never have imagined with the rational mind. We will be asked to question familiar assumptions and beliefs about who we are and adapt rapidly to shifting circumstances. Yeah. Uh huh. Uh huh. Yeah. And some of this has already been going on for us. It's like it's happening at breakneck speed, right, Emily SP 722? Emily, no. Good evening to you too, my darling. Yeah, I mean, this year, and especially these last 4 months in particular, have been relentless chaos and upturn, downturn, in-turn, out-turn. Yeah, it's so much that is happening, and it really is happening pretty fast. So, like I said, sit back and relax, and I'm gonna take you through all of this. Hey, Daphne, thank you for the heart. It makes me feel really, really special. Thank you. Thank you. And to all of those of you who are out there listening, maybe don't have the ability to comment, please know I feel your energy. I feel your energy in my heart, and I'm so grateful to you and your support as I get us through this powerful information. Yeah, it's pretty powerful. Yeah. So, as promised, I want to always acknowledge the American monthly observances of cultural heritage and diversity. And I've got a couple of international ones thrown in for you this month because, first, it's National Black Business Month, which I just found out about. When Black businesses grow, our communities grow. So yeah, this is really sweet. Nice emphasis on Black communities and supporting Black businesses in person and of course online. And also International Day of World's Indigenous Peoples is on August the 9th, celebrating culture, respecting rights, and building a better future together. Yeah, this is so important. I'm glad this now exists. And yes, we want to definitely be aware of this and support it as much as possible because it is this ancient wisdom, this indigenous wisdom that is going to help us learn how to better take care of our planet Earth. And, I'm a big proponent for that. And then I also learned that there is an international day for the remembrance of slave trade and its abolition. And that's August the 23rd. Wow. And as some of you may know, but everybody should know, the United Nations declared the transatlantic slave trade as one of the worst, it might have been the most crimes against humanity because of the amount of time that it lasted and what it did to those who were taken from their home in such a horrendous way. Yeah. So again, just more for us to be conscious of and grateful for, Ashe. Now, of course, we are still in Leo season, so happy birthday to all you Leons out there. I have a great nephew. He just had his birthday 2 days ago. And no, when I talk about 2 days, was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday or Friday. Yeah, my Giovanni. So happy birthday. And again, Leo season is, this time for creativity and personality and to be the star of our own show. And here in the Northern Hemisphere, it is this, excuse me, incorporates this last half of summer. And so it's a really important time for us to really be conscious of the fact that we have to really love ourselves and feel good about ourselves, speak up for ourselves, and take care of ourselves. Absolutely. I just had to get some water. My throat got dry again. Now, here are the impactful days in August, and at this beginning, it's going to be the 3rd, the 6th through the 9th, the 10th through the 12th, and the 15th. And then in the end, it's going to be the 17th, 22nd, 25th, 27th, 28th, and the 31st, which ends on a very high energetic note. Yeah. So let's begin. Let's jump back to Monday, August the 3rd. And we had what I talked about previously, Chiron going retrograde into the sign of Taurus. On June 19th, 2026, Chiron made his first ingress into Taurus, marking the beginning of a collective healing journey centered on emotional wounds that impact our self worth, self love, and our relationship with wealth, abundance, and material security. Chiron was discovered in 1976 while in Taurus. For those born then, this is their first Chiron return. Yes, like a Saturn return. Yes, you get that energy. And it really is an initiatory, transformative time in your life. You will come out of it 8 years later so much better. Yes, if you don't resist, that's all I can say. Chiron retrograde in 2026 invites us to revisit an old wound through a new lens. Instead of seeking a quick fix, we are encouraged to listen to what our pain has been trying to teach us. Chiron retrograde favors honest reflection, compassionate support, and patient, body based healing. It reminds us that healing is not becoming invulnerable, it is learning that a wound does not get to define our worth. Yes, I love it. So it will be retrograde until I think in the beginning of September. And then it's gonna go back into Aries, so we get that whole energetic healing our identity wounds. Yeah. And again, more support to becoming our authentic selves, not our performing selves, our real selves. Yeah, real live, like when Pinocchio becomes a real boy. And, yeah, so it'll be in Aries, I think until the beginning of 2027. So it's gonna be interesting. So we're getting this beginning, experience of dealing with, the old wound and our bodies becoming more embodied conscious, which I think is essential. And then we'll go back, delve into identity, and then really get into the thick of all of this self-worth, self-love, our abundance issues, scarcity issues, and again, connecting with our bodies. Absolutely. Oh, I got a shout out. I have to show after Daphne says, love it. It's Queen Juanita. Hey, Queen. Good to have you here. And Zuzu Wisdom. Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. She is amazing. Absolutely. So then on Thursday, August the 6th, we had Venus entering Libra, which is a wonderful, wonderful energy to have during Leo season because Venus enters one of her favorite signs, Libra. And when Venus is happy, everyone is happy. In the coming weeks, we will just feel at ease with life if we choose, folks, ourselves and others. Venus in Libra wires us to be receptive to others, to open our hearts to love and affection. Get ready to fall in love over the next few weeks, and hopefully, you do that with yourself first. It's the ideal time to attract the right partner and embrace romance. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that just delicious? Yeah. Yeah. Something else I do want to say at the beginning of this is that despite its intensity with the aspects and the cosmic, things that are going on, this is, like, really, really auspicious, gracious, grandeur-y energy. I mean, it is just blessing, blessing, blessing energy. It is so flow, so moving things along. And I think that's why it can cause us a little bit of disruption, because it is like it's the rapids of the flow. Yeah, like it's on, it's relentless. So it's definitely pushing up and out the old and what can no longer serve us. And so we've got to keep surrendering, let go of the shore, let yourself just go with the river. Open up to seeing where the river's going to take you. Yeah, don't fight it. Let go because again, this is really, really wonderful energy. Like Venus and Libra, it's just delicious. It's just love it. Very sweet. So more message about that. Venus's ingress in her home sign of Libra reminds us that our relationships thrive when true harmony and reciprocity are present. This transit refines our awareness of the dynamics at play within our connections and asks us to pay close attention to how we give, receive, collaborate, and connect. In Libra, Venus invites us to discover the art of creating true harmony, both within ourselves and in our connections with others. This transit reminds us of the role of relationships as mirrors that show us how we need to evolve and grow, our evolutionary teachers. It asks us to strive for true balance and healthy compromises that honor both our needs and desires and those of others. So, again, there's this focus on inclusivity and consideration. Yeah. Venus also reminds us of the importance of relating from a place of, wait for it, authenticity, of letting ourselves be truly known and seen. Yes, like I said, it's just delicious, delicious, delicious. Mm. Now, also on this day, the 6th, we had the sun in Leo trining Saturn retrograde in Aries right now. And this brave and determined aspect encourages us to be bold and set ambitious goals for realizing our dreams as we have the confidence to achieve them. Take the lead in your own story today. Yeah. And again, this is fits in with what Lena Stevens is saying about, we're stepping onto a new path. This is a new time. And to really want that, to really want it to be new, don't want to be in a recreation of what you've already experienced, what you've already known. You've got to expand your borders. Read the Prayer of Jabez. Get that little book. It's probably $1 now at a half price bookstore. Get that book, read it, and do that prayer because it is all about God, expand my borders and keep me from harm so I don't hurt anyone else. And the harm is really about, all of that negativity, doubt, judgment, crazy inside of us. And so, again, we're in this time. It's time for something new, but you got to do your work. You got to be willing to take that risk, to have that courage, to step into the unknown. Yeah. Uh huh. Emily says, "What book?" Oh, I'll show you, in fact. That's how important this is because and I'm live streaming, I never get up away from the desk. But this is it. It's called The Prayer of Jabez. And I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, there you can see it. The Prayer of Jabez. This is the little book. Yeah. And, the guy that wrote it, but don't pay any attention to that. Pay attention to the story and what he's writing about, because that is so magical, so powerful, and so useful. I have used the Prayer of Jabez for years. Yes, and other people I know have it posted in their bathroom. Um, but the prayer is very powerful and it will really, really help you expand your borders because that's what this energy of this month and what has been going on, is really doing. Yes, Emily says, I read it 20 years ago. Exactly. If you haven't read it recently, read it. It's just amazing. Yeah, you can find it. I'm telling you, it's at Half Price Books. You will find it. It's very or Abe's books. I have probably about 10 copies of this because I would just give it out to people, and then I inherited several copies from Miss Sarah. So yeah, it's really powerful, and we need this now, folks. We need it. We have been living through so much fear and scarcity, and always on this danger, and being thrown back into I'm only here to survive. No, you have a purpose in life. God wants you to have your happy endings and to succeed. So know that and expand those borders. Yeah. Juanita said, yeah, it's been on my bathroom mirror for at least 15 years. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Juanita does amazing, and she borders always expand. Every time I talk to her, is another. She's gone another 100 yards. So know that it really is important, and I'm glad I took the time for this because when you get the rest of this astrological cosmic information, you'll see that that's what it's pushing us to do is to move forward, but to do it not from the past, but definitely stepping into the new. Yeah. So let's go to this past Friday, the 7th. And here's what we had. We had a grand air trine, Uranus in Gemini, Venus in Libra, and Pluto in Aquarius, sitting up in the sky for us. And that energy is still going on. I didn't get a chance to find out when it begins to dissipate, but just know that grand air energy, and here's what it means. There's a grand air trine between Pluto retrograde in Aquarius, Uranus in Gemini, and Venus in Libra. A grand trine happens when three celestial bodies form a 120-degree triangle in the same elemental group. In this case, the air sign. So that's Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. It is considered one of the luckiest and most harmonious configurations in astrology, making it easier for energy, communication, and cooperation to flow smoothly. This cosmic formation asked us to, wait for it, open our minds to new possibilities. It makes thinking and communicating easier, providing clarity, straightforwardness, and solutions to complex problems. It also brings a great cosmic energy for healing all types of relationships, especially our relationship with ourself. Core themes for this one: moving from individual me to collective we, thinking and community cooperation, innovation, breakthroughs, and rethinking how we use technology, and clearer intellectual perspective and smoother relationship tune ups. Absolutely. Wonderful. Yeah. And of course, if you have a birth sign or a rising sign in any of the air signs, yeah, this is going to definitely be very supportive to you. And I just got from Daphne the prayer of Jabez. Oh, that you would bless me and enlarge my territory. Let your hand be with me and keep me from harm so that I will be free from pain. Yes, absolutely. I think somebody tweaked that last part a little bit because it says keep me from harm so that I don't hurt others, but it's been around for 20 years, so people didn't understand that. I think so they shifted it a little bit. But anyway, it still carries the same power. It really does. And thank you for taking the time to put that into the chat, Daphne. Appreciate you. Yeah. Because that's again, this is what the cosmic message is about for all of us. Absolutely. So let's go to Saturday, yesterday, August 8th. And this is where we had, yes, the Lions Gate portal peak and a global high frequency day, which I talked about in my elemental wisdom. Yeah. And I kind of edited part of Patricia Coto Robles's graphic that she used about the Lions Gate. And I want to just give a credit to her. So, what is this about? Here's the invitation with the Lionsgate. And before I say that, Lionsgate comes from ancient Egypt. It's when the star of Sirius was visible over the pyramids, and it always signaled that the Nile River was going to flood. And the reason that was such a happy time is because they in the desert, they need the water so that they can have their crops. And so it was bringing this abundance. And that's why we associate the Lionsgate portal with manifesting abundance. But and Sirius, what is Sirius? Sirius is the brightest star that we can visibly see. And it is considered our second sun. Yeah, because stars in the galaxy are binary mostly. There's usually two of them. And so the astrologers even and theoretical physicists believe that Sirius is our second sun. So this really powerful stuff. And so the Lion's Gate is an invitation to return to the truth of who we are. Every time we choose authenticity over performance, presence over competition, and love over fear, we strengthen not only our inner sun, but the collective field we share. Lionsgate Portal is more than a single moment in time. It is an invitation to deepen our relationship with our inner light, remember who we truly are, and consciously walk the path our soul is calling us toward. Yes. So I know, and it's gotten a little more commercialized with meditations for abundance, and but that's okay. That's okay. Um, the main thing here is that you realize that this is an energetic for us really, really, really getting connected with our inner self, and in a positive way. And again, I love about the purpose here, remembering that we are here on purpose and for purpose. Yeah. And not to forget that. Yeah. And I just want to say that I looked in a book about the prayer Jabez, and that last line, that last part of the prayer that I was talking about, it says, and that you would keep me from evil, that I may not cause pain. Yeah. Yeah. It's very powerful, because that's really talking about I'm not going to let my pain body run the show. Absolutely. And of course, the very last line of Jabez's prayer is, and God granted him his wish. Yes. Yeah. So, Lionsgate energy, and it will be around because it starts on the 26th of July. This is the peak on August 8th, but it will be with us until the 12th, which is what? Yeah, that is eclipse day. So just know that we have this beautiful, beautiful energy, um, powerful sun energy, Leo energy working for us to keep our vibration very high, because that's the other point of this day, too, which they brought out this year more, is about a global high frequency day, that we're letting go of the past, as it says on the right side, and we're moving into a new collective future. Yes, 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 yes. Very powerful. So that energy is, yeah, that energy is just really, really beautiful. Love it, love it. Okay, and Zuzu put it up from the book. Yes, love that. Thank you, thank you. And she says, we were just talking about this yesterday. Uh-huh. Absolutely. Yeah. It's all coming together. It's all moving. It's all real. And today, August 9th, we have Mercury entering Leo. Communication becomes bold with a hint of dramatic flair when Mercury enters the sign of the lion. Over the next 2 weeks, our speech becomes more confident and expressive, while our thoughts are focused on grand ideas. There you go. There we go. Expanding those borders. Our thinking and communication becomes more proud and confident. No more hiding behind a rock, Mercury and Cancer. Speak out, deliver that message, roar the truth. Yes, isn't that wonderful? So delicious, so exciting. Yeah, very positive. Like I told you, this energy is just flow, 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 flow energy. It really is. And so here's some more message. As Leo season unfolds, Mercury joining the Sun and Jupiter in the sign of the Lion offers us an invitation to speak from our hearts, reclaim our voice, and approach communication as an art. This transit is an opportunity to examine our relationship with being heard, speaking our truth, and sharing our voice with the world. In Leo, Mercury reminds us of the power of our words, thoughts, and ideas, and inspires us to experiment with new creative ways of expressing what we think and who we are. This combination of energies is an invitation to share more of what's on our minds and speak up with confidence. Mercury in Leo is a wonderful influence for all creative and artistic activities that involve words and language. Yes, yes, yes. As I'm sitting here talking to all of you. And Emily says, my ruling planet is entering planet my moon sign. Yes, 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 yes. You got Leo in there? It sounds like you got some Leo going on. So how wonderful. Now, I want you to know, thanks to Astro Butterfly, that the 10th and the 11th are very special because this is Venus and Mercury activating the outer planets of Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. On August 10 and 11, it brings one of the most astrologically charged clusters of the month. So that's starting tomorrow and into into the right before the eclipse. Yeah. Give me a minute. And I said, Emily just says, yeah, moon and Leo. I thought so. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's real fun to have the moon and Leo. I love it. Yeah. So about this activation of the outer planets between Venus and Mercury. As a basic astrology rule, the more exact aspects we have packed into a short window, the 10th and the 11th, the more eventful the astrology becomes. Does it help that all of this happens the day before the eclipse? Yes, it does, she says. Venus and Mercury activate the Uranus Neptune Pluto configuration we've been talking about since 2025, pulling our personal stories directly into the larger collective plot. What was previously operating in the background now gets a tag. Aha! So this is what it's all about. Yes. Revelatory energy coming our way. So, as I share with you the aspects for the 10th and the 11th, just keep that in mind. Like this is pretty powerful leading up to our eclipse. So, on Monday tomorrow, the first one is Venus in Libra trining Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. This flow aspect asked us to notice where existing relational dynamics have become outdated or unconscious, and ask us to move away from repeating patterns or power imbalances that prevent intimacy rather than support it. And I did a wisdom walk talk. Was that in June? I think it was in June where I talked about, us working on our relationships and really evolving them, working on evolving our relationships so we can have those happy endings. Absolutely. So this is a very, very flow energy supporting that. Yeah, supporting that work. Now, also, we do get an opposition, and this is Venus and Libra opposing Neptune in Aries. This opposition highlights challenges with discernment, projection, and excessive expectations. It reminds us of how romantic longing makes us prone to over idealize other people or situations and invites us to be very mindful of our boundaries and our fantasies. Yeah. And you know what I say with this one? I interpret this too, which is want what is right for you. Don't just want it, but want what is really in alignment with your authentic self, the truth of who you are. Don't just want it to have it. Yeah. That's what that's about. And an opposition always is going to, be disruptive to us so that we can do more discernment about what is going on. And in particularly with this, it is about, our romantic desires or our longing for, a partner. Okay. Now on Tuesday, we've got five aspects on this day. Here we go. First one, Mars enters Cancer. Mars's ingress into Cancer brings our focus on the connection between our emotions and our actions and invites us to deepen our self-awareness. In the sign ruled by the moon, Mars needs to find unconventional avenues for expression and requires us to become more skilled in moving with the flow of our emotions. This transit offers us an opportunity to develop emotional courage, and become more intentional with how we act, make decisions, and express what we feel. Yeah. Because it's got that Mars, that driving energy behind it with Cancer. This is a tough one. This is not an easy one. Yeah, it's a tough one, but it's so good. It is so very good. Yeah, really good one. And then we have one of our asteroids. We've got them making shifts, four of them making shifts. Chiron was the first one. Now, this is Juno going retrograde as is staying retrograde and entering into Capricorn. Again, named after the queen of the ancient Roman gods and representing commitment in relationships, Juno is a large asteroid in the asteroid belt and the third asteroid discovered in 1804. Juno in astrology can eliminate new insights into no, it should be illuminate. Thank you. Illuminate new insights into just how you thrive in long term commitments and relationships. So, Juno's retrograde is moving backward into the sea goat until September 17, when she will then go direct. In the meantime, use this pause energy to be more emotionally vulnerable in relationships. You don't always have to be the strong one. Isn't that wonderful? I love that. Yeah, absolutely. And now we have Mercury in Leo opposing Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. This will be the first time this week this pops up, but it's coming back. So, this very stubborn aspect can bring out our rebellious side as we go against the establishment. There's a strong possibility of power struggles as no one is willing to budge from their position. So be mindful of power struggles that can come from everyone thinking they're the boss. Yeah. So that's just saying tread lightly and you know if you want to really fight, you got to have a giant. And if this person isn't a giant, leave it alone because otherwise you'll just be a bully. Yeah. Then we have Mercury in Leo trining Neptune retrograde in Aries, another flow energy. This vibrant energy is perfect for creatives, making it easy to get lost in daydreams and start bold, dramatic projects. Enjoy exploring your ideas, but avoid making deals today because you could miss the fine print. And make sure you don't stir up drama just for the fun of it. I love it. And then another flow, this one with Venus and Libra trining Uranus retrograde in Gemini. Wait a minute. I apologize. Uranus is not retrograde yet. It's getting there. Uranus activation is liberating influence that encourages us to break free from old scripts and narratives and explore more honest and unconventional ways of connecting, creating, and making an income. This trine can bring sudden shifts in perspective, sudden attractions, and a clearer awareness of what is aligned with us and what isn't. Yeah, really, really powerful. Absolutely. So, after all that, we move into eclipse day. But there are two aspects before the eclipse. The first one is another asteroid, the Ceres, entering into Cancer. Ceres is a dwarf planet in the asteroid belt between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter, first discovered in 1801. Ceres was a Roman goddess of agriculture, grain crops, fertility, and motherly relationships. The next several weeks are about to feel very tender when the nurturing asteroid is in the compassionate and empathic water sign. During this time, we're encouraged to develop compassionate connections and lead with empathy in every area of our lives. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Also, we get Mercury in Leo sextiling Uranus and Gemini. Exciting news is on the way today as the stimulating aspect brings new opportunities and unexpected detours. Stay flexible and enjoy the ride the lift takes you. Yes. Isn't that wonderful? Oh my goodness. All right. And I have to do a drum roll here. Let me get my drum roll. There it is. Yes, we are going to have a new moon in Leo total solar eclipse. And this rare cosmic event marks a cosmic reset for confidence, self worth, leadership, and of course, joy. All right, here we go. Let me break this down. First of all, the timing for it so that you have an awareness, and especially if you're empathic, you're going to be feeling it even before it really hits, but this will give you some good guidance. So, the eclipse starts very slowly, so the first time it will begin, which will be in Greenland, and it will start at 10:34 my time, 11:34 Eastern time. For Hawaii, it'll be 5:34 a.m. and so on. So it will be happening in the morning, and then it will be done within 4 hours. So that's 2:57 p.m. my time, 3:57 Eastern time, and then 9:57 a.m. Hawaii time, and everything else in between. And the first total maximum eclipse, meaning when it'll look like that, when you can't see the sun, and that's going to happen first over Greenland. And that peak will happen at 12:46 Central Time, 1:46 p.m. Eastern Time, and then 7:46 Hawaii time. And there is a website called Date and Time, and www.dateandtime, and you can go on there if you're living someplace that I haven't mentioned or didn't post to find out exactly when that timing is, because I think it's so important, especially because we won't be able to see it here. You'll only be able to see it if you're in Iceland, Greenland, and then the northern Atlantic around the Arctic Circle, right? Or, very interestingly, Spain and, Portugal. Yeah, I thought that was really powerful. So everywhere else will get like a little something's going on, but it won't be the full show. But, yeah, just know that the eclipse is happening in the morning here in the northern hemisphere. Yeah, so cool. All right, let's break it down. New moon in Leo and total solar eclipse. This is a total solar eclipse at 20 degrees, which is a later degree in Leo, that will flip the script around who we are and what that means in the real world. This is a significant event for all of us, but will be felt more personally and intensely by those of us born with planets or angles around 20 degrees of fixed signs. And the fixed signs are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Yeah. These individuals are experiencing a potent rebirth moment, a profound turning point in their evolutionary journey. They're being asked to let go of the old identities and versions of themselves and step more fully into the life they are here to create and live. This is the first eclipse in Leo since January 2019. This event is a potent initiation into a new evolutionary cycle, one that asks us to release outdated expressions of pride, ego, and the need for external validation. Yeah, yeah, really big stuff. So, solar eclipse, a lunar seed. This is from Moon Omens. A solar eclipse still does what a new moon does. In the void, it creates the seed of a new beginning. Not the type of new beginning we have at an ordinary new moon, but a new beginning born from the moon side of us, one that is rooted deeper in our soul, something that nourishes us, that makes us feel held, met, and real. And while we might be frightened about what may disappear, change, or have to be released in our lives, all eclipses, regardless of their aspects or how dramatic they appear, are truly acts of alignment. At an eclipse, the sun, the moon, and the earth and the nodes line up. For a brief moment, all three are brought into the same axis. The more we have lived our lives out of alignment with one of these three dimensions, which are the conscious self, represented by the sun, the unconscious self, represented by the moon, or the physical reality of our lives, represented by the earth, the more destabilizing this realignment may feel. That's some powerful right there, isn't it? That's some real powerful. Hey, Magella. She's tuning in from London. Maybe she might be in her smaller town, but yeah. Yeah, wow. This is so significant. This is so significant that the eclipse will have you feeling, right? The disalignment that you may be in. So want that, because if we're not conscious of it, folks, yeah, we can't do something about it. So just know that that's how powerful this energy is. Yeah, we're going to know if we're out of alignment. Love it. Now, total eclipse of identity. Leo is ruled by the sun. So Leo's sun identity is the core of who we are. So what happens when the sun, and not just any sun, but a Leo sun, is eclipsed by the moon? Yeah, we get a system glitch. All those things that told us who we were, the identities that gave our existence meaning and gravitational force, are temporarily switched off. And in that void, in that black hole, all our unconscious desires, unmet needs, and unprocessed material comes flooding in. Things that were part of us when we were younger, but we were told were unacceptable. Emotions we swept under the carpet because they were too intense or too dangerous to look at. Body truths we overrode because they demanded that we do things that would go against our roles, commitments, or the identity we had built. Wow, wow, wow. The eclipse cracks us open at an identity level, showing us what is crucial for our development and what must be integrated so we can become more fully ourselves. And then we get a little help from the aspects that are happening during this new moon total solar eclipse. The solar eclipse is trine, flow energy, with Saturn, supporting long term growth and giving structure to whatever is trying to emerge. This harmonious alignment supports the embodiment of authentic, grounded confidence and helps us strengthen our commitment to our purpose and our willingness to invest our time and energy into it. Saturn's trine to the eclipse emphasizes the relevance of this event for our maturation process. It inspires us to renovate our commitment to what is emotionally meaningful to us and to what makes us come alive. And there's further support. Mercury is sextile Uranus, bringing breakthroughs and new perspectives, while Mars is sextile Chiron, giving us the courage to act on what has been exposed. Woo! Yes, 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 yes. And one more aspect, the South Node. It's conjunct the South Node. So while solar eclipses bring new beginnings, because of the activation of the South Node, this particular eclipse asks for a farewell, a sort of sacrifice. We are asked to let something go before letting something new in. The South Node is the point of the moon's orbit connected to past karma, unconscious patterns, and automatic behaviors, meaning conditioned behaviors and beliefs. Occurring on the lunar South Node at 29 degrees Leo, very potent. This new moon total solar eclipse is asking us to fully close a cycle before starting something new. This total solar eclipse in Leo, conjunct the South Node, reminds us that performative self expression and authentic self expression cannot coexist. Once we choose to embark on the path of authenticity, it is unstable to go back to the familiar, comfortable ways of being. Ultimately, this total solar eclipse in the sign of the lion is a moment of rebirth, of self reinvention, an opportunity not to become someone new, but to remember who we truly are and align with that. Just take a second and breathe that in. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Amazing. Amazing. Yeah. And that's why this particular eclipse is getting so much attention too, because like I said, it's rare to have a total eclipse of the sun in the sign of Leo with a new moon. Yeah. So it's really, again, this is just rapids of flow energy to get us up into that higher timeline and the truth of who we really are. And that's how we really will be able to have our happy endings, folks. This is the way things will really move forward. So the day after the eclipse, and remember, this energy will be playing around. It's not going to just disappear overnight. But we have another flow energy with Mercury and Venus sextiling. Wonderful. Just wonderful. So, solutions come to us easily today as this helpful aspect brings us the clarity to solve the problems that have been plaguing us simply by talking them out. Having one authentic conversation can make life a lot easier. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then on Thursday, the 14th, as I told you, we have another one of our asteroids. This one is Pallas going retrograde in Aries. She came into Aries back in May. And so, after weeks of making bold moves, it's important to start making connections instead of creating competition during this retrograde. Take a step back and develop some patience, as we do not need to fight our way out of everything. Sometimes we need to bide our time before making a next move. Yes, great, great wisdom. Absolutely. And then on Friday, the 15th, we get two aspects. This one is a repeat of the one we had earlier on, I think it was the 11th. Mercury and Leo opposing Pluto in Aquarius. Again, this stubborn aspect, talking about, and I can do this because dear Juanita put it into the chat for me. When giants pick on little people, they are just bullies. Yeah. So with this energy, please be very mindful and very conscious, you know, stay in your peaceful lane. Just let it go. If this isn't a giant that you are engaging with, let it go. Absolutely. Thank you, Q. Yeah. And also Emily says, go high. Go high. Exactly. You don't need to stay in something that's not beneficial for you. And then also on this day, we get this lovely conjunction between Mercury and Jupiter in Leo. Think of the most confident, funniest podcast host you know. One of those people who can turn a random tangent into a great story and entertain us precisely because they're a little bit audacious. That's Mercury's conjunct Jupiter in Leo. And we can all borrow some of that energy. Say it bigger. Pitch the idea, make the announcement, tell the story as if it matters. Big ideas, bold statements, confident decisions, and a louder public voice can amplify whatever emerged around the Leo eclipse, giving it words, reach, and an eager audience. And this is from Astro Butterfly. I just love this. Yeah, but how wonderful that is. Wow. And there you have it. There you have it. This amazing flow, mostly flow energy for this first half of this month, and this powerful, powerful energies to really help us become more of the truth of who we are. Yes. So, two cosmic reminders. The first is about the Barbo basket or the cosmic cradle. This energy is still happening. Jupiter is moved out of 4 degrees 2028. Yeah. And as always, I ask and thank you for praying for world peace every day. Let's keep those prayers going, keep that consciousness up. And as a great, great venerable monks from Walk to Peace have suggested, and I follow every day, today is going to be my peaceful day, Ashe. I set that intention. It's so important, and I hope you do it too, along with your Jabez prayer now, right? You're going to do the Jabez prayer. Yeah. So, my darlings, thank you, thank you. If you're still hanging in here with me live, I appreciate your viewership, your listenership, and your support. This information I think is pretty powerful. I feel just graced and blessed that I can share it with you. I will be back next Sunday to give you the last half of the astrology because we have another eclipse. This one will be a lunar eclipse, partial. I'm sorry, yeah, a lunar eclipse. It's partial, and it's in the sign of Pisces, my sign. Yeah, so that should be pretty interesting. But in the meantime, my darlings, please, please take great care of yourself. Remember that you are divine, and being your true, authentic self is going to bring you a plethora of happy endings. Yeah. Also, a quick shout out to my great nephew, Adrienne. and for how he actually got that experience of things turning around on a dime and stepping onto his new path and the courage that that took. Yeah, watch Raiders of the Lost Ark: The Last Crusade. You can even get it on YouTube. It's called The Bridge Scene, about what it's like when we're called to take that risk, take that step when we feel like there's a void or we're just going to fall down. And he found his courage, and I am so happy for him. So, for all of you, I think I got a couple more comments before I go. Yes, great information as always helps me to be in the world with peace. Thank you. Thank you, Emily, for that feedback. And then Zuzu says, thank you. Oh, Queen, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Love it. Okay, my dears, again, be well, be peaceful, be happy, and I'll see you again next week. Bye.